and welcome to the Habits and Home Show. I'm your host, Lisa Lazat, and I help busy moms bring order to their homes by downsizing and decluttering and ditching old habits in exchange for systems that bring peace and more enjoyment to their lives. If you're a mom trying to show the love of Jesus to your family, but the clutter in your home keeps you overwhelmed and frustrated, you have come to the right place. On this podcast, you will hear easy step-by-step tips to declutter and create systems so you can keep your home organized and finally walk in the peace God has promised you. Need some accountability? I've got you covered there too. Join the Accountability Club, a community of like-minded mamas decluttering and systemizing our homes together. Are you ready, friend? Let's get started. Hey friends, and welcome to the show. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a glimpse of what it looks like inside the Accountability Club. This call comes from a bonus coaching call that happened just yesterday, and it wraps up our first quarter of this year and the 3 topics and the 3 areas that we covered, which were our photos and videos, our paper management system, and the sentimental items in our home. Now, while you are listening, I want you to pretend that you are a member inside the Accountability Club. And like I share with all my members and remind them to do, I want you to do something productive in your home while you are listening to other people be coached. So you too, I want you to get up, be productive in your home, accomplish something, whether it's folding a load of laundry or washing your dishes or simply resetting your kitchen. I want you to use this time as inspiration and encouragement to take action in your home. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Okay, so I do have an hour. So whether it's just me and you or other people join, lucky you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a bonus call because I know there might be some people that, with the way we schedule things, we usually schedule our calls the first and the third Tuesday of every month, but with the first falling on the first Tuesday, it's not a lot of time, for people to get into the challenge, get started, get their feet out underneath them. So I wanted to do an extra call. So this is like a bonus call.
Nice.
Yay! Other people are hopping on. Awesome. Okay, so we have an hour because I have another coaching call that starts at 2. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to call this our first quarter bonus call. So I really want us to think back the last 3 challenges of the last 3 months. Even if you were not with us the first 3 months, I want this to be a call where you're free to ask questions, get feedback, get encouragement. Maybe you didn't follow through on those first 3 months of the year. Okay, so the first topic was digital photos, digital videos, okay? Like the ones on our phone, okay? Any questions about those? When it's your turn, ask the questions. February, the second month, was paper, paper management. So our file system, our paper clutter. This is mine, really easy, simple, sweet, right? Did you follow through on your paper decluttering challenge, paper management? Any questions about that? Then the third month, which we just finished up in March, is our Sentimentals month. And to keep it really simple and sweet, I encourage you to create sentimental boxes for every member in your family that lives in your home. So typically it's your immediate family, okay? So we have 4 people right now. If we break that up, it'll be 15 minutes a piece. That's great. If we have other people that join in, we might need to cut it back a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to learn from each other, but also use this time as accountability. I love that Alicia is folding some laundry. I love whatever everybody else is doing. Great. Use this time for accountability for your hour session. Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to start with Lana Ray. And if you don't have any questions at the moment, you're just here for some accountability, you can say, hey, I don't have any questions at the moment, but maybe later come back to me. Lana Ray, if you have any questions, any feedback, really focusing on those first 3 months to kind of zero in.
I did pretty good with my photos. I did not get to the videos. What was the next one that we did? Paper clutter.
Let me comment just quickly on the videos. It's okay. It's okay. I love that you established that system to get started with. And next year, when you come back around, you might have that capacity to go a level deeper in your digital photos and your videos. Trust me, the last couple of years, I did not compile my videos. This year was my year to go a level deeper. So you're doing great, sister. Okay. The second month was paper management system.
I did pretty good with that one too.
Right.
I did slack off a bit with my keeping things up each month, but I did catch up in the nick of time.
Yeah.
But this last month I have not. The Sentimentals, I got sidetracked at my dad's house. So, and I don't know if I have, I mean, I probably do have a lot of sentimental things. I did not really get onto that one. So.
That's okay. Let's start with the basics. Do you have first of all, let me know how many children you have, or do you have
3?
You have 3 kids. What are their ages?
Soon to be 10, soon 8 and 5.
Okay, 10, or let's just say 10, 8, and 5. Which is you are not too late for creating a sentimental box to collect their things. Do you already have designated sentimental boxes in place for them?
Not really. I have for some of their baby things, I have stuff put away, but other than that, not really. Some things for their little drawings and stuff, but other than that, I don't have.
Did you see the sentimental boxes I created?
I did.
Okay. How do you feel about getting something that's big enough to combine those baby things and the drawings and everything else that's going to collect in the next couple of years? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I need to get some containers.
Okay. All right. So let's break it down. What is it going to take to get some containers? Are you going to use random ones that are mismatched around the house that you're just going to pull in? Or are you going to make a conscious effort to purchase brand new ones that are all matching? What's a better plan for you?
I think that was my holdup, is I was going to go buy some and I never did get any new ones. So I could probably just start with some things I have around the house and then move things over to new containers once I get them.
Wait a minute. Sometimes,
or not.
Y'all, I refer back to my wedding dress. I know this is kind of more of an extreme example, but because I was trying to be so cheap, I went with the $100 dress rather than the $400 dress. And 20 years ago, that was a lot for a 21-year-old college student, right? So, but to this day, we're about to celebrate our 20th year anniversary, and I'm like, I should have got the $400 dress. I'm like, why did I just bless myself with that? I mean, I had it in savings, but I was just trying to go the cheap route, and so I wasn't happy with what I purchased. So, Lana, if it feels better and you're going to follow through on maintaining that system a lot better and more consistently, just start out from the get-go with the boxes you really want. Unless there is a financial issue and you're like, hey, now I'm stay-at-home mom. I've been there. Stay-at-home mom, one income. That doesn't fit into our budget. Then definitely use what you have at the house, right? But if you're like, yeah, I have a little bit of expendable money, I can just get the boxes, right? So what feels better for you? Because we're going to break this down, and I want you to commit to me whether you're going to order them on Amazon, you're going to go down to the local Walmart and you're going to buy matching boxes, or you're just going to use whatever you have around your house. Tell me what the plan is.
I should probably just order online because I'm in a small town. There's no Walmart here.
All right.
So I think I should probably just order something.
All right, sister. Is now a good financial time to be able to just hit the pause on this call, get on Amazon and order them?
Yeah, I probably could.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna come back to you, and then we'll chat again if we have some more time. Okay.
Sure.
All right, let's order those boxes. Okay, we're gonna move on to Elizabeth, because I know, Elizabeth, you always have to leave early to go get your kiddos. So we're chatting about the first 3 months in the first in our first quarter. Photos, videos, paper management, and the sentimentals. I know you've been doing great with all of that. Anything that's coming up that you want feedback on?
So I did the pictures. I did for the year, and I did the video for 2024. Then I did and then Sentimentals I already had done.
Mhm.
I did not go through the books and like the journals from like business coaching like I was thinking of last month, but as I was thinking about it, like looking this week, I'm like, I have those journals sitting on my bookshelf, and I'm like, I have not opened them in years. Like, and I know that very unlikely I will go back because the knowledge I have learned and how far I've come, I know I won't go back. So I just need to just pick them up and throw them away. Just like,
All right, let's
pick
go.
'em up and
Let's
throw
go
'em
get
away.
those. Let's go do it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
You're
calling
making
you
me
out.
do it right now.
I'm just making you do it right now, sister. Making you do it.
Oh
Or
my
if
gosh,
you
it's
want to,
like you think like, oh, one day I'll come back to it because there
no,
is some good information there. I have like,
no, girl, you
I
have a
have,
thrive.
yes, I think I have like three journals that I have
Yeah, you have a
that.
thriving business. So Elizabeth and I are personal friends, and she lives about an hour from me, and
Three journals.
she has a thriving business. And girl, if there's anything that you need to learn in the future, then you're gonna look it up. You're gonna find it. You're not gonna want to
Yes.
go back to your
Yes.
your
Okay. I threw
messy.
them in the recycle bin. They're gone.
Nice. Okay. All right. What else? What else?
I think the only thing is I was going to go through some of the books that my books are pretty decluttered. They have very minimal. It's the books that my kids have.
Okay.
That I keep thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have them read it, but they're just drawn to a certain type of books that there's a ton of books that they're just sitting there that they don't read. And I think my biggest thing is like I have a lot of Russian books,
Mm-hmm.
like Christian Russian books about, Bible stories that were gifted to me by my parents or my in-laws for my kids. And my kids don't read in Russian. And actually, like we do speak some Russian to them, but like they understand simple, like regular conversation Russian. But then if you're like reading a Bible story, and especially has a little bit deeper terms, like my 7-year-old be like, I don't know what you said,
Right.
And so I honestly do not see myself in the near future like honing in and teaching them Russian. Like I don't see that being a priority. I feel like I have other priorities in life. Yes, it's nice for them to know that extra language, but like I feel like there's more important things in life than having a second language. And I don't see them like, and then even if we would one day, like we would probably get the right resources for that. So I just don't know what to do with those books because they're in really good condition and they're Russian.
Okay.
The only option I think is like there are Russian churches around here and people that have recently migrated from like Ukraine and that like Russian is their primary language at home
Yeah.
that I could potentially like drop it off over there or bring it over there and people could take it. That would be like the best thing that I could think of, like that way I can like pass them on to somebody.
I love that idea. Okay, here are a couple of thoughts that are coming to me. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. It's only what you feel best to do. So I'm assuming these books are not being stored in your kid's bedroom. Right now, they are on your family.
No, they're in the linen closet.
Oh, they're not. Oh,
yeah, we don't have like a bookshelf for the kids. It's like in the linen closet, there's a couple shelves that just have books on them.
Okay. The only thing that I can think of a reason to keep them is because, and you said these are children's books, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I know, and I know that you said that you read in Russian and you speak Russian. The only reason I can think to hang on to these would be for you if you kind of like lost that ability or lost that skill and you needed to brush up on it. Reading children in that language is the best place to start because that's where developed is by reading the basics, and typically children's books are written in that form. However, there's tons of resources and opportunities out there, so if that really was a desire for you, you could easily print off a short prose for you to be able to brush your language.
I don't see myself doing that. I feel like in our home English is the primary language for all of us, and I just don't see myself in the next few seasons, devoting time to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I love that you live in a big enough city where there are communities, like Russian communities, like in my town, to even donate it to the local thrift store, it would probably just be thrown away because nobody in our small town is probably interested in Russian. So the fact that resource is already there for you, I feel like it's the straightforward answer for you, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is it more so, hey, just like we did with the journals, hey, go to the linen closet, grab those books, let's put them by the front door or take them straight to the car to donate them.
They're like meshed with a bunch of other books. It would
Okay.
take me like quite a bit of time. I can work through some of it right now in the next, like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you
Let's
can
do
coach
that.
somebody. Yeah, you can coach somebody else while I do that.
Perfect. Let's do that. Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. I love that topic. Okay, let's move on to Jenny. Hi, Jenny. You made it. I thought I saw that you weren't going to be able to make it.
I'm here.
Yay! All right, Jenny. So I know you popped on a little later. It's our first quarter recap. So we're kind of, and I think you were with us for most of those months. We're kind of just like touching base. How do we do in January with the photos? Are we finished for like 2025? We're moving on. Are we keeping up with it? The paper management system, how do we follow through all the way to the end for that? And then with our sentimental items. So any of those topics you want to discuss?
Yeah. So I wasn't a part of the photos and videos. So I'm just gonna wait for another round of that. But it has made me, just hearing you girls talk, has made me more like, I should delete these screenshots, or I don't need all these pictures. So
yes.
So that's good. I would say for me, the paper, I'm a DIY girl, and so I've got basically really big projects going on that are like around this. So like in this room, I've got these IKEA bookshelves, and I'm redoing and like making them custom. And so I haven't quite finished the molding at the top. So like the rest of the room is like all of the there's just paper piles. And so I kicked my husband out of this because I was like, I'm gonna do the paper this month. And so he's working on a card table upstairs every day. So I need to get that done. But then when we moved to Sentimentals, and I already had the boxes for my girls, or I've got 4 kids, so I have the Sentimentals for them, but I went ahead and got Sentimentals for my husband and I. But we had just moved my girls upstairs, and so the attic was where I need them to have their closet. It's like a big room. It's like semi air conditioned. So then we decked our attic for some attic stuff. So I've been kind of going through Sentimentals and photography business and all that kind of stuff. But then, like this weekend, we were like, okay, y'all, you're late to school every single day because you don't know where your clothes are. We've got to finish this transformation. So we painted and we've hung the things, the bars again. So I don't want to put anything in that room or in the attic unless I've gone through it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I've basically taken off 2 really big projects that overlap a lot. And I don't know. I mean, I'm doing better, but I think a big decisions are hard for me. So I think for the paper, the binder that I need, I've decided I'm going to do each of my 4 kids binder themselves and do, because everybody has like a 504 or an IEP or something, but you usually end up needing to bring in like medical from, the doctors, things or whatever. And so I think I'm just going to do like 1 binder and have like a label for or a section for 504 and IEP, another one for like their medical and like just do their most important. And then maybe I love psychology, so I do like, I don't know, like goals or career kind of stuff because I've got 2 in high school and we're already having to decide. So like maybe one that's like high school and dual credit. So maybe, or I don't know, something that I can make sure they're not like, you know, I can kind of keep their pathways.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. So that's kind of my thought there.
Can I interject?
Please.
Yes. Okay. First of all, when you were listing out all the different things, there was a lot, sister.
I know.
And it's okay. It's okay. Typically, sometimes that happens when we feel like we got all these different things. So the thing that I would tell you to focus on, like to put all the other projects aside and to focus on is like the daily need. Like, okay, your girls, they have to get dressed every day, get undressed every day to go to school. And that system, like the paperwork, it can just be a little messy at the moment, but that daily thing that's happening every time laundry is happening, whether whether we feel good or not, laundry is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Food and laundry. I always say, like, focus on your groceries, focus on your laundry before you focus on all these like little micro systems that you can kind of, if they're not perfect, you can kind of live, you know, in the mess at the moment. So if I were you, I would just like close this door. I mean, have what you need. If you're not in the season of like having is it still called IEPs? Are they called
IEPs, the other one.
Yeah, IEP meetings. Now, if you're in the season with the school year ending, and if you're having IEP meetings, then you might need to pull out those essential papers and put them in a binder and have them ready. But if that is something that you can table for now, and then over the summer when your girls aren't in school, to really get organized with your girls' special needs binder, then I would table that, and I would really like hustle to get their closet and their clothes under control, because that is, like I said, that is going to happen whether you are ready or not. Right? Okay. So that's my first thought.
Good.
The other thought that I have is the binders. I love that idea. I love it. Okay. I don't encourage binders for everyone. Now, Jenny's, everyone who's listening, Jenny's, her girls are special needs. They have 504s and they have IEPs and things like that. And so if you have children that you're going to meetings for and they have medical needs, then you need something that is easy to travel with. Everyone else, we could do the file system, the emergency file system that I shared with you. But if you are, you know, if there's a lot of things that you're needing to take with you, the binder system is a great system. And I love that you said that you're a DIY girl, because that makes me think that, oh, you probably like organizing. You probably don't necessarily like decluttering, right?
Correct.
Yep. I have another client. She's actually one of our members in here, but it doesn't work well with her schedule to do our group calls. And she's like, I can focus on one little niche area and organize and make it look pretty, but it's all the other stuff I don't like to declutter or get rid of or anything. And so typically we have that strength in one area but are lacking in the other. So I think you're on the right track, Jenny. Like I said, number 1 priority, the clothing system. Number 2 priority, the binders. Love that. And you can work on something, maybe the binder system, while you're on our call with us today. I have one more question, because if I remember correctly, the last call that we were on, we were talking about your
photography stuff.
Yes. What did you end up doing?
Oh, you're so wonderful. Yes. Well, I realized that was partly sentimental and partly like, Elizabeth was saying that like, I'm not going to go back. I've already figured out the systems of like what worked and what didn't. And if I am going to start another business or at some point, then there's probably going to be different, businesses. So I'm just trying to learn to trust myself that I can, make those decisions and the Lord will provide,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for me what I need in
Yes.
that moment. So I offered like my lights and all of that stuff to a young photographer. And I said, if you don't want it, then you have by Tuesday to let me know because I am going to donate it. So the other thing that the Lord we served at it was called Ranch Day, and they have a free garage sale for single moms who are coming out of abuse or like refugees or they're, home. One lady, her house caught on fire. And so I was able to bring like a carload last month, and to watch the families like walk away with my stuff. It was just like, Lord, like, thank you for giving me this gift that I can see, like, this is blessing the socks off of them, So it's really pumped me up. And I went again on Friday and had a van full of stuff. So I think with the paper for me, it is, I don't trust myself to remember things because I'm very ADHD and have 4 children who are also ADHD. And so it's just, there's just a lot. And so I'm just trying to find that balance of, of like, I want to have it, but I don't want to hold on to every single thing.
Yeah.
So
And
I do have the red thing also that you talked about. I just took the medical from that and put it in the binder, if that makes sense.
Are you talking about the a family emergency folder?
Yeah. So I'm still doing that. Like I have that, but I don't have all the papers quite in it yet.
Yes. And keep in mind that this is very, very typical. People who struggle with ADHD or ADHD, symptoms, and they feel like they're going to forget something. So they do hang on to everything. But what happens is when we hang on to everything, we don't have the capacity to filter it. We don't have the mental capacity to rifle through it and actually find it. We don't create the system to make retrieval of that information easy for us. And so if you can refer back to your email, or you can refer back. Actually, I think we just it phased out the February content, but you should have it in your email. If you go back, I laid out the system for you so that it does create a system for you that's easy to make retrieval really, really easy. So if you follow that system, it will give you that confidence that you know exactly these 2 places. Well, actually with the third being your sentimental boxes. So you have your family file system. Now for you, there's going to be a 4th place because you do have those binders for your girls. Okay. So your 4 systems of storage that you can trust holds the exact right information for you is going to be your family emergency file system, which is that box. And we broke down the categories of what goes in that box. The second one is your Google Drive, and that holds your temporary basically all the categories we create folders in that Google Drive, and papers that we don't need a physical copy of, you can use our phone, scan it, take a picture of it, put it in that Google Drive in the folder of the category it belongs into. So we can trust that if we need to refer back to the information, we know how we're going to find it, right? Then the 3rd place is our sentimental boxes, and that sentimental things has to do with people, okay? It doesn't have to do with things. It has to do with people. It's sentimental to that person. So everything that is sentimental to you is in that box. Everything sentimental to your husband is in that box. And there's no rule about what goes in that box. It's the grace box, right? And then the 4th place for you is going to be the information that has to do with your girls' special needs, and as they're going through their medical history and being in school and everything. So having those systems in place and those containers in place, then it builds up that confidence. And that's why I love taking people through the paper management challenge, is because it frees us that we don't have to carry it all around in our mind. And those with ADHD and symptoms, that's what they struggle with, is carrying around large amounts of information in their mind. We don't have to do this with that system, right?
Right.
We can trust that the information we need is going to be easily retrieved in these containers that we've created. Okay. So that's just to give you a little inspiration after you get your girls' clothing system, where the daily chaos is not happening.
That's right.
Right. And then you can focus on this side project that is going to bring you more freedom. Okay. Yep. The clothing system is going to bring you peace. The file system is going to bring you freedom. The freedom in your mind is going to bring you peace, but it's also going to bring you that like that. It's going to lift that weight. Okay. You're doing so good, Jenny. I'm so proud of you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And I love, and it brought tears to my eyes with you talking about like being able to see people in need walk off with your things. Y'all, that's so good. That's so good.
Thank you.
That's really what, when we hoard up things, we are keeping blessings from other people. Things that we don't need, we're not being good stewards of. We can pass on to somebody else. Okay.
You got it.
Keep it up, sister. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Angela. It's been a long time, sister.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, girl. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Just washing some dishes.
Yay. Good. Do whatever you need during this time for some accountability.
Yeah.
So what?
Let's see. I wrote some stuff down in the beginning when you asked what we were doing.
Yeah, go for it.
So for the pictures, I felt really motivated. I had like no space on my phone. I was able to get space on my phone. I felt motivated about that. And then like we had a big event and I have no space on my phone anymore. So it's just, I think I need to learn how to declutter the photos like right away if there's like a big event. Because I take a lot of pictures because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll miss something, you know. So that's my goal, is to just learn to declutter right away.
Let's talk about that feeling of missing something. Let's dissect that a little bit more, because a lot of us have, I'm assuming that a lot of us are like 80s babies, maybe some of us are 90s babies, and we grew up with the 110 film or the 35 millimeter film, where we took pictures. We didn't know what was on the picture, right? And we went and developed it, and then we were like, oh yeah, and we didn't really think back to anything that we missed, right? We were just like happy with what we got, right? Yeah. So let's dissect a little bit more that thought that we have to record everything because we might forget. Okay, let's just dissect that a little bit more. We know that film has not been around, forever, right? Videos have not been around forever, and people have lived really good, wholesome lives. Grandmas have told stories, right? Yeah, grandmas have told the most amazing stories without ever looking at pictures. And I think, here's just a little Lisaology or Lisa philosophy. I actually think that we're kind of ruining our ability to remember when we depend on all of these things, these technologies to carry those memories for us, right? So what are you thinking? Like, so what are some of the thoughts that come to you when you're at an event and you think that you have to like take a picture of every single thing you see because you might forget it? I mean, sometimes we just enjoy taking the picture. Sometimes people like the hobby of taking pictures, and that's okay. But when it comes into our motivation to take them because we're afraid, that's where we need to we have to build that trust factor, right? We have to build that back up. So I want you to tell me some truths. I want you to tell me some truths about.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we? Angela and I did some one-on-one coaching together before, and there was something that happened, and she was having a bad day, and I was like, all right, Angela, let's tell me some truths about this. And it was really, do you remember it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it was about your daughter at the school.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I guess I went through a lot of different things with you.
Yes,
during
you
our
did.
coaching, but yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's a really good exercise when something happens or we have a thought to just start saying out loud what those truths are. I remember one time when I started practicing this strategy, I was riding in a car on the interstate with my husband, and we had like a little disagreement or a spat, or like I was feeling all my feelings, right? And I was sitting over there stewing in the car in the passenger side seat. And I just got my phone out, opened up my notes app, and I started writing out truths. And I said, what I would write out, I would say, the truth is, because when you start saying the truth is, it doesn't give way for opinion or lies. It doesn't. One of the truths that I remember writing was, I said, the truth is, I don't feel like he listened to my opinion, or the truth is, he does love me. Because, when we get in a spat with somebody, we're like, he doesn't care about me, he doesn't love me, blah, blah, blah. But if we say, the truth is, he does love me. The truth is, he's probably having a bad day. The truth is, we are male and female, and he probably doesn't speak my female language. The truth is, I probably talk too much. The truth is, so I want you to tell me some truths about the thought that you might miss something if you don't take a lot of pictures.
So first I have to tell you, I use that strategy to today. Like, you taught it to me, and I always use that, because with my anxiety, sometimes something will happen and I like think about it continuously all day long. So in learning how to use your strategy, like, it really brings me back to center, and like it makes me like actually calm down a little bit, and then I'm back to being able to do what I'm supposed to be doing, so I just want to thank you for that. I really use that often. I don't know if you know that, but I use it all the time. And I've actually told other people about it, that suffer from anxiety and things like that. And it's really helpful for me. I find it very helpful.
Awesome. I love that. Use that we can all use that with our children, because we know that our children are learning how to manage their emotions. And when we teach them that strategy and we say, okay, I want you to tell me 3 truths about this situation. And when we teach them that, it helps them to manage those emotions, right? And it helps to center them, to ground them. Because who is the creator of truth? The Lord, God. He is the truth. And so when we are saying what the truth is, we are getting more in line with him, with his spirit. Our spirit is getting more in line with his spirit, right? And that's why the peace washes over us, right? Okay, so tell me, I love that, Angela. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So tell me 3 truths around the idea that you have to take a lot of pictures or you won't remember. And I want you to start out, the truth is.
The truth is that, first, the truth is that if I meant to remember this moment, God will let me remember this moment. And that's the truth. I always say sometimes when something wonderful happens and I don't have my phone around or something to write it down, I'm always like, God, please let me remember this moment, So that is the truth. That's the first truth. The second truth is that a couple of pictures will suffice if like my husband's not there, her father's not there to experience this, event. I can just show a few pictures and that should suffice. And that's the truth. And the truth is, I want to be in the moment also. I don't want to have to rely on the phone and, oh, stop, smile, look this way, because that takes a lot of time as well, when you're like trying to get them to look your way so you can take the perfect picture so that you can show it off, or show my husband, look what happened today. So the truth is, that's time consuming as well. And I should just live in the moment at the events and enjoy her, rather than, always be timed with that kind of stuff. Because that could be like, 20 minutes of the event with you just trying to say, sit the right way. Oh, look this way,
Yes.
So
yes, I love
what I
I
got.
love all of that. And all of that is true. And there's so many more that we could all probably contribute to, that the thoughts that are coming to our mind, the people that are on this call. What got me, first of all, going through this decluttering process of your pictures, everybody that was able to be with us in January and we decluttered our photos, going through that painstaking process really it's like made me stop and reflect of like, how many pictures do I want to take in the first place? Because I don't want to go through this process again, because when we acquire something, it's really hard and painful to let it go. Right? It's the same with when we buy a lot of clothes or we buy a lot of decor. It's hard. We bring it in because we can, and then it's really hard to let it go. So I want us to put that thought into our pictures as well. And I want us to start practicing self-control. I want us to start also, like you said, living in the moment. And what got me is yes, we are looking at our children through our phones. They are phone free. Most of them, maybe not if you have teenagers like I do, but most of them, when they're little, they are living life phone free. I want you to imagine what they are seeing back. What are they seeing back when they look at the person that's in the presence with them? They are seeing a person with a phone in their hand. And so I started taking less pictures because I wanted the view of what my kids are looking at through their eyes of me, of their mother. Like when they reflect back on their childhood, I don't want it to be a phone in my hand or a phone in front of my face. I want them to see my face, right? And I know that sounds a little extreme, but at the same time, it really makes us pause and think about the visual, the memories that they are going to have looking back at their parents. So I want that to give you the motivation to, hey, I'm going to this event, I'm going to record it, snap a picture. Oh, something else happened, snap a picture, I'm done. And it really goes into trusting. Okay. A lot of what we do in this journey of letting go, living more simply, living more minimal, living with less, it goes back to not in our control, but in God's control and us trusting Him. Like you said in that first truth, if God wants me, if I'm really meant to remember this, then I will. Even if I don't have all the details and the details are a little fuzzy, I'm going to be able to remember what's most important. And it really, truly probably is the feeling that you got, that you experienced at that event, right? That's what when we go through experiences, it's the feelings, the nostalgia that we take with us. We might not have all the details of that event, but we have the feelings that event made us feel when we lived through it, right? And we can't have those feelings unless we are actually living. And we can actually live by putting our phone down and being in the moment, like you said. I love that. I love that. Okay, that was a lot of conversation for photos. What are some of the other notes that you wrote down?
Just with paperwork, I'm still battling paperwork because I found like a whole bunch when we cleaned out my coat closet in the basement. I found a whole bunch of paperwork and I haven't had a chance to like kind of go through it. So just trying to find a time during the day and stick with it every day to like just do 15 minutes of paperwork, just to try to get through it.
Yeah. Do you remember the first 2 steps of the paperwork framework that I shared with you? Do you remember those?
Yeah, separate it into piles, or I'm sorry, put the Post-its first and then separate it into piles without even thinking about it.
That you kind of got the gist of it. So the first step is to gather up all the paperwork in the house. So that's why we're kind of like when you're finding paperwork in a hidden closet or you're finding paperwork here, that first step it really is an important step, because when we think we're all done and then we turn around, we're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this box, then it makes us feel defeated, right? So it's okay to start over, to go through that process and to go step by step. So step number 1, I'm gonna just share with you the first 3 steps. So step number 1, take the time and remember, I share these with you in a way that you can walk away after you complete each step. Okay, so do all of step 1 and then take a break. And then you know where to come back and start again. So step number 1 is to gather up all the random hidden papers everywhere. Okay, bring it all to one laundry basket, one tote, one table in your house, whatever it is. Then step number 2 is to write our categories on sticky notes and divide our papers into those categories. And the only question we are answering when at that step is, what category does this paper belong into? We are not answering the question, do I need to keep it? We are only answering, so our brain is only answering one question: what category does this belong into? And we're just dividing those papers in that large stack into those categories. Then we can walk away. We can stack up those categories and walk away if we need to take a break. Then we come back and we can declutter one category, one sticky note pile at a time, and say that the house, what are the essential papers that I need to hold on to in the category of our house? Okay. And when you're doing each category, you say, okay, do I need to keep this physically, or can I scan this into the matching folder in my Google Drive? Okay. So I want you to take yourself through those steps. Okay, Angela?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so proud of you, and thank you for being on.
Yes, thank you. It's motivating.
Yes, good. Okay, last person is Alicia. Hey, sister.
Can you hear me?
I can. What are you working on?
I might. Oh, well, you're just talking about finding, you thought you were done and then you find a stack of papers. So I just went through it. It's empty though, but I divided it. I found another stack of like sentimental papers and I thought I was done. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
That's okay.
So just going through that, I just separated it, but it's really hard to get rid of. Like my kids have made like homemade birthday cards for us. And I think that's the only thing I struggle with getting rid of. And I don't want to necessarily put it in their piles. Like, so I was telling you, I was going through my mom's stuff too, and I have all the boxes separated. And like, I found my handprint from like 1989. Like, I don't want this, right? And so I'm like, I'm gonna toss that. But then I have my daughter's handprint. I'm like, oh, I want this. So I don't know. Some of that stuff I'm thinking of putting it in my box, because I'm like, when I look at my stuff, I'm like, I don't want it. Like half the stuff of mine I threw away.
Yeah. Let me encourage you. Don't throw your handprint away, because it probably meant something. Yeah, it probably meant something to you when you became a parent, but I mean, maybe it didn't. I don't know. But like when your kids reach the age of something that you created at that age, it kind of like, it feels kind of, I don't know, it's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. But at the same time, like, I would just put it in your box, Alicia.
Okay.
Like, did you create a box for you and your husband?
I do. So, well, I have a box for me. My husband says he doesn't need a box. I know we're going to get to that point. You said create a box anyway. I haven't. There's a couple things I'm saving because he's not very sentimental. Maybe it's just because he's a guy. I don't know. but
Very
I have like a few like the cards and stuff because my girls, you know, they're very good at drawing. So again, their cards are getting better, so they're harder to throw away than when they were 5 and it was like scribbles, right? I've gone through all those and I'm like, oh, that's easier to throw away.
yeah.
So I'm just putting him his stuff with my box.
Yeah. So what I would do, and you said how many girls do you have, Alicia?
I have 3, so 16, 12, and 9. So I have each of their boxes, and then initially I had their school divided in files. I think I had told you in the beginning. So I just repurposed that same box, and I ended up just condensing it to just a binder of some of their stuff.
Yeah. Here's the
So
thing. Here's the thing about having girls is that we are some girls, I'm not going to generalize and say all girls, we tend to like to look back at our parents' things. So I would create a box for your husband, even if he says he's not into it and he doesn't care.
yeah,
But like things that you come across, like maybe like a high school t-shirt, I don't know, if you're at his parents' house and they happen to like say, oh, this was his little toy or whatever, just kind of think of it like your life box or whatever, or his life
yeah,
box. And even if like one day you create this box and you collect it, and it doesn't even have to be a big box, and your girls are totally, they're all grown, they all have kids, and they're totally not into ever reminiscing or looking in you or your husband's boxes, then bless and release, and that is the time that
right,
you can let go, right? And just keep in mind that having this system in place just means that all these little random things that you find around the house, they have a designated home, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just a I call it a grace box. You know, it's like, I don't know where this belongs. I really don't
yes,
want to store my husband's old trophy or whatever. Oh, I'll just put it in his, sentimental box.
yeah.
Maybe we'll throw it away one day. So all of
So I
those
just need
things
his
that
boxes.
yeah, so all of those
Okay.
random things that are coming up that you're like, oh, sentimental, you have these boxes in place and this system in place, and you're just able to just throw them in there. If 2 years from now you go through that box and you're like, we could get rid of some of this stuff, then that's the
Yeah.
time to do it.
Okay.
The
Versus
other thing,
combining ours, yeah. Because it's
yeah,
getting kind of full just with my stuff. So
the other thing that I was gonna mention, did you go through the paperwork system and you have it in place, and now you're just coming across other papers that you need to add to that system?
you mean like the paper management system we did last month, or just the Sentimentals?
The paper management system.
I feel pretty good about that. I mean, when we were even going through that, I realized that the girls' passports were expired, so I made appointments, and we already had their passports done. And the mail system, I used to have my 9-year-old go out and get the mail, and I was like, when you're like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm home the majority of the time. I just get the mail every day. And then I go and I throw it away, or I just deal with it right then, and that helps.
Right. Good.
And yeah, and so we have our files. I downsized a lot. I love the Google Drive. Thank you for introducing me to Google Drive. I mean, it is like a blessing. I put their sports stuff on there. I've gotten rid of so many. I have my receipt file. I have files for each of the kids, me and my husband. It's just, that was like the greatest thing you've ever told me.
I love it. I
I
love
love
it.
it. So I love Google Drive.
I
I was like, how
love
did I
that.
not know about this for the last 10 years? So
I know, and it's free, and
yes,
most people do have a
yes,
Gmail account, and
yes,
they just don't.
yes, it's
Here's
great.
what they do. Here's what they do, and this is what I see a lot of my clients do when I work with them one-on-one, is that they just they just put files in there or documents in there, and they don't categorize it like I've been showing y'all to do
Yes,
with, because it's hard to retrieve papers that you don't categorize. And so once you kind of go through this paper management system that I shared with you, it's like you can never go back. It's like if you
no,
take a
it's
picture or
great.
a document, you're like, wait a minute. It's like you're going through that process really like switches something in your brain that you're like,
Yeah,
forever and always, I know that I have to categorize items.
yes, it works.
Going back to you were talking about cards that your kids have written.
Oh, yes.
I
So this is the only thing I'm having a hard time getting rid of, like this, right? Like
Girl,
You know,
don't
and
worry
hey,
about it. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it right now. Don't do it right now. You
I'm
have
like,
the,
maybe I'll just put it in my sentimentals and just deal. Yes, yes.
yeah.
I know.
So, but
Yeah.
what I would do, honestly, Alicia, I actually like the idea of putting whoever wrote the card, put it in their box.
They'll put it in their box. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of feel
Okay.
that way. Now, you can go either way. You can actually put it in your box if it's something. But what I've found is that when I look back at my childhood stuff, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I was such a sweet child. I like seeing what I wrote.
I
You
know. I
know,
had a card I wrote to my mom that I was like, oh, look at me, go me.
go
I was like,
me. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
yes.
So maybe you put a couple in your
Okay.
box, but I would put a couple in their boxes as well. And then
Okay.
there's no rules. There's no rules. So remember, every year we come back around and we go a level deeper in our organization and the way we think about the process and that system. Maybe next year you're like, when you revisit your sentimental boxes, you're like, okay, I can weed out some of these and keep only the
Yeah.
ones that have like, value or substantial writing on them. So just count it as a grace
Okay.
item and you just put it in whoever's box you think. Don't overthink it, because what happens when we overthink is we get stuck and we end up leaving those piles out. We don't want to do
Yes.
that.
Yes,
We
yes,
just
yes, yes.
just put it. It doesn't
Yes.
have to be perfect. Just put it in one of
Yes.
those boxes.
Bless
Call it a
and
day.
release.
Yes,
I
bless
walk
and release.
around saying Lisa said bless and release. I'm like, she said this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, bless and
So,
release.
yeah.
Okay,
So
awesome. Well,
good.
everyone, this has been so good. I love these quarterly checkups. We're going to try to do another one of these in the next quarter because I like revisiting the topics that we've already went through, and sometimes we don't follow through on all the way on it. So this is kind of like our, hey, I left that project unfinished. Let me go back to that. Okay, so it just kind of like brings to light. All right, friends, I'm gonna let you go. I enjoyed this, and I will see you next Tuesday on our Power Hour call. We're gonna be working in our garage or our shed. So if you want to get started this Saturday on it, because that's the best time to do it, great. But if not, that's what we're gonna be working next week. But y'all can come and declutter anything, okay? All right, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.